Hey everyone, glad you're here for block number 8 of our American Quilters Stitch Along. Now this is a really simple block, so you're in for a treat. No sweat on this one. So what we need for block 8 is a 5-inch charm paper, because we're going to need 8 half square triangles that finish at 1.5 before they're sewn in the quilt, so they finish at 1. So unfinished 1.5, finished 1 inch. And then we need 4 rectangles that are, let me get this right so I get it right, 1.5 by 2.5, and then our sides and top, those are the usual 4.5 and 5 3/4 measurements. Okay, so let's build this block then. The first thing I'm going to do is my triangle. I'm going to put these right sides together. They have been starched, of course, and then my paper lays on top. Now I could have done a little bit of better job of trimming there, but you don't have to sometimes. I'm a little lazy once in a while, so I'm just going to stitch on all of the dashed lines. I'm going to shorten my stitch length to 1 and zip around these as quickly as possible. All right, so because I lowered my stitch length to half of what I normally stitch at, this paper is going to come off really, really, really nice now. Now I'm going to cut apart on all of the solid lines. So make sure you take the time to make sure your rulers are in the correct spot, because we have to sew accurate and we have to trim accurate so our half square triangles are accurate. Now the reason why we're doing some of these videos taped is because we have a lot of stuff going on at Primitive Gatherings. Our store is in its 2nd day of being open, and really it shouldn't be open yet. It's just we have this little shop hop going on and we didn't want to not participate, so we opened up the store with just fabric on the shelf. No quilts hung, no kits, no patterns for anything hung, just fabric on the shelves. What more could you want, right? All right, quickly, we're going to go over to the ironing board next to press all these. Back over here. Now I put them all dark side up, and then make sure my iron was on. We forgot to do that, Kaylee. I forgot to do that. All right, so we'll just wait a minute here. I can probably talk to you about a minute. I can't wait to announce where we're at for this week's fundraising for our Hogs for Heroes. Carrie will be letting me know that shortly. So if I don't share it during this video, when we watch this, when we air this for the first time, we'll be in the comments and we'll be talking to you that way as well. So we'll let you know where we're at. But we're super excited to hear that number. So hopefully it's, you know, more than, a lot more than what we expect, but I was surprised last week, so who knows what will happen this week. So as my iron heats up here, I'll just press a little bit till the steam comes on. It's hot, it just doesn't have the steam all set yet. And Kaylee's on vacation one of these weeks, so we're going to record that American Quilters Stitch Along video as well. Oh, it wants to steam. They're flat enough. Now I'm going to hold them right here near the stitch line, push my finger in the middle of the paper and pull out, and it just nicely tears away, just like that. Hold there, pull from that middle. Hold a couple of them in your hands. That's once you get really good at it, you just put a couple in your hand and you just pull and rip, pull and rip. Never wants to cooperate when you're on camera. So just like that, we have 8 perfect half square triangles that right now measure 1.5, but when they're sewn in the quilt, they will measure 1 inch. Voila! We have it all laid out. So it's ready for me to stitch together. Now you can stitch this together in however way you like. I'm going to stitch together this center pinwheel first and then add those on and then stitch these there. So right sides together. Move it back to my normal stitching length. I'm going to quick press that open. Oh, there's our steam. Put that one back in there so I get my pinwheel right. But I'm going to sew the next one first so I don't waste any time. Press this one open. There you go. Now right sides together. Matching up that seam. Put one little pin in there. Everything else lines up beautifully. So now I'm going to press this center seam open here as well. And again, whatever direction or open or not open that you decide to press your seams, that's just a personal thing. You can do that however you want. Just because I press open doesn't mean you have to. So don't think that you're doing something wrong. It's just a personal preference. I like things to lie nice and flat for the long arm quilter. All right, so that one I'm going to press toward the rectangle. Not going to press those open. So these are both going to go toward the rectangle. sides on the center pinwheel. And what's nice about stitching little things is when they line up and everything is good, you don't have to pin because it's just a short distance. Toward the rectangle. Other side of the pinwheel. Now these, again, toward the rectangle, because these are pressed toward the rectangle, so those seams will nest nicely. Now stitching the rows together, we will pin these intersections because we don't like those to move on us. Next row. All right, now these two seams I'm going to press open. So you lay that right in the center of the stick and then open that up. And what's nice about it is it doesn't wreck any of the other seams because it's up on that little hill. There we go. All my points are there, nothing is lopped off. Excellent. Now back, we're going to put the sides on. Kaylee, come around. See how nicely that lines up. Other side. Quick press these. I'm going to just press them away. Now the long sides. Look at that. Perfect. I love it. Last one. So see, this block goes together quite quickly and nicely. There we go. There's our block. And then I have my stripes all ready for us. Oh, there's our number. 21,329. Awesome. Thank you, Carrie, for getting that for us. We kind of put her on the spot. We're like, we need this. that's where we are in our goal. Remember, my goal is 25, so we're almost there, but we have a long way to go, and we have a long time to maybe raise some more money, and who knows, maybe we can do a whole bike and part of another one for another vet. That wouldn't be so bad, would it? So I cleaned off one edge here, and I always try to put my long one on top, so those are going together. I'm going to pin those. Looks a little shorter than my block, so I'm going to make that squinch up in there. So what I mean by that is my block is just a smidge bigger. So when I put this down, I'm going to put the bigger side to the feed dogs, and that'll cinch it up nicely as it stitches it. Just like that. Pins out. One seam there. Flip this on. Remember, these don't, your stripe should be a little bit bigger than, your long stripe should be a little bit bigger than the rest of it, because we're going to trim it up. And you got to make sure that because sometimes our stripes will wave a little bit, just make sure they're lined up with that other piece. Again, this long seam, we're going to press that one open on the strip stick again. Kaylee's coming over. Look at how nice that block lays flat. So I hope some of you who have never starched before or have never pressed open, you have to tell me how you like some of that stuff if this is new to you. Hopefully your stuff is a little more accurate and a little more manageable. So now we're going to come over here, grab our 12.5 square up, and I'm going to square. This is already set, so I'm just going to square this side off here, and then make sure it's kind of not wobbly. There you go. Trim up that side. And there we have it. Block 8 is in the books. Thank you so much for joining me, and make sure that you like our video, subscribe, give us a little donation for Hogs for Heroes. We'll have all that in the description under the video. Thank you.